Today we'll be talking about some of the calls that we're receiving lately at the office, and that is about how we can identify some of the winter annuals or spring weeds that we're having that everyone is seeing that is located either in your flower bed or in your garden spot, or if you're driving down the roadside, you might even see them in the fields. Two of those items that we have are henbit, and is part of the mint family. This one can be identified by looking at the alternate leaves that it has on the stem. It also is in the mint family, which means they have square stem. And as they proceed up, you're going to see these little whorls going up and they come into a purple bloom. This is henbit. A second of our calls that we're receiving lately is on purple dead-nettle. It is not a stinging nettle, but is still in the nettle family, and it's in the mint family. And with that, again, you're going to see the coloration, the purple at the apex at the top of the plant. But as you go down, you're going to see a square stem. It's actually going to have most of the leaves clustered at the top. It's going to start out having a purple color at the top of it, and then as the leaves mature, they turn into that green color at maturity. One of the old-time common names that you might have heard these called on might be archangels, because at the very top of those stems and those leaves they look almost like a choir, and they have those shoulder pads that a choir might have. Another fact is that at this time of year, they're going to bloom and start setting seeds. This one plant right here of henbit can produce anywhere from 200 to 2,000 seeds per plant. Dead nettle, with all these clusters, one plant can produce up to 25 to 27,000 seeds per plant. So this is why we see them very prolific in the springtime. So our second big question, once we have identified that plant, is how can I control this plant? Honestly, for these winter annuals, the best time to start control of them would be to make sure that we have good turf and lawn care procedures going on. If our turf grass is extending all the way to our beds, then we will not have this weed encroach upon our flower beds or any of our garden area. We can go ahead and put down a pre-emergent. If we have seen these winter annuals in the past, we can do a pre-emergent down like preen, and that will help as we start to see the plant in the small rosette, just early stages of growth. We can go ahead and apply an herbicide to that. One of those could be glyphosate. If it is early spring and we see these plants actively starting to grow, we can apply an herbicide in spring, but what we need to do and think about is we need to do it typically early spring. We want to do it before we see any flowering starting to occur. Once we are at this stage and it's starting to flower and we can recognize it, it is too far, and those applications won't necessarily kill the plant. They'll naturally start to die off. And that's when we're going to start to see some of this yellowing. We might even see some of the powdery mildew. That's a fungal issue attacking it. These are eventually going to die naturally. And so there's no need to apply any herbicides. What we need to do then is start that treatment again. If it has dropped seed, we need to do a pre-emergent so we can eliminate it prior to it going ahead and starting a new season of growth.